Hello, I'm Heather.
And I'm Ryan.
Welcome to the podcast. It's game night, it's sibling rivalry, it's a walk down memory lane, but most importantly, it's politics free.
Guaranteed.
Welcome to round 2 of Same, but Different. Real quick before we start, if this is not your first episode of Same, but Different, and you don't want to hear the instructions again, skip ahead about a minute and a half to the start of the game. Here's how it works. We have 2 sets of cards, a blue set and a red set. On each of the blue cards is a scenario in which you might say something. And on each of the red cards is another scenario that might be a little more risque. For example, on a blue card, we might have something you can say while buying a car. On a red card, we might have and while hooking up with a stranger. Ryan and I, prior to recording and independently of each other, will come up with as many answers as we can to the combined scenarios. For example, using our cards above, something you can say while buying a car and while hooking up with a stranger, we might come up with the response,
Does this come with Loop for Life?
Or, I get a discount, right? We will compare notes and see who has come up with the highest number of unique responses, with 1 point awarded for each unique response, meaning the other person didn't also think of it. Whoever comes up with the highest number of unique responses earns the highest number of points and wins the ever-coveted Gloating Rights Trophy.
Until we play again.
Again, the game we're playing is called Same, but Different. It was created by What Do You Meme and is available to purchase at whatdoyoumeme.com. Link in the show notes. They are not a sponsor. And finally, it should be noted that for podcast purposes, we are playing a modified version of the original game. The current running score is Heather, 13, Ryan, 10. Ryan, are you ready to compare notes?
I am ready to compare nodes.
Okay, I did not have that typo in there, so knock it off. All right.
It sounded like you said nodes.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't. I did. Maybe. I don't know. Whatever. I'll hear it on the playback and I'll text you. All right. On the blue card, something you can say as a bouncer. On the red card, and during a wardrobe malfunction. Something you can say as a bouncer and during a wardrobe malfunction. What'd you come up with, bro?
I came up with 3.
Okay.
We have a strict no runners policy.
Okay. Good one.
Sorry, pal, your white socks are giving me a headache. And you're not supposed to be smoking.
That was a good one. I didn't even think about that. Love it. Love it. Love it. Those are 3 excellent answers. Ryan, 3. Okay, now I came up with 4 answers to this one.
Damn it.
Something you can say as a bouncer and during a wardrobe malfunction. You've been exposed, ma'am. Nobody wants to see that, sir.
Yours are so obvious, too. I was thinking way too hard on this one.
I've also got somebody's had too much to drink. And please leave right now.
Excellent, Heather.
Depending on the wardrobe malfunction, you might not want that person around. All right.
I mean, if a boobie falls out, they might have you kicked out so no one has to see that.
Or they just ask you to,
bounce.
Okay. Belated laughter for that one. I like that one. All right, Ryan, moving on to our second set of cards. On the blue card, something you can say while decorating a Christmas tree and while murdering someone. Go for it.
All right. These lights are out.
Good one. I like that one.
Look at what you've done. And
Brilliant.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Oh, awesome, bro. You did better than I think you thought you did. We're still getting there.
I was going to say after this, it's all downhill.
All right. So I have a few answers for this one, but it's serial killer vibes, okay?
Okay. All right.
So while murdering someone, and I'm a serial killer, and I'm decorating a Christmas tree. So something you can say while decorating a Christmas tree and while murdering someone. What do you want to do when we're done? This sure is a pretty one. These are dark. I feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
Oh my God.
I went serial killer deep dark vibes on this one. This is my favorite thing to do. And finally, hey, we're doing this as a family. So Ryan, that was 5 for me.
Well done.
Thank you. And now we go on to our third set of cards. On the blue card, something you can say while dissecting a cat in biology class. We're going to talk about that in a second.
Okay.
And on the red card, and while reading your family computer's search history. Ryan, dissecting a cat in biology class, is that something people have done? Because we did frogs.
We did frogs, and then I know that people do pig fetuses.
Okay.
And some kind of eyeball. I want to say pig eyeball.
Huh.
And that's all I've heard of. I've never heard of a cat.
I have never heard of a cat. I should have looked into it. I could have brought something educational to this farce.
You know
but
what?
I didn't.
It would be a great Reddit question, Heather. What did you dissect in biology class?
I might just post that up right now. Not right now, because I don't have the app on my phone.
In high school.
In high school.
Wait, what? Or wait, when did we dissect? We dissected frogs in middle school, didn't we?
Middle school, yeah.
So we're not talking about college here, because, okay, we know you dissected humans, guys.
I know. Hey, medical students, what did you dissect in your... So, I was under the impression that they don't do dissecting at all anymore for some reason. I could be wrong about that.
I think you might be right, because I don't think the kids have dissected anything. They themselves have not dissected anything, but they have watched someone dissect something. It might be a funding thing.
Okay. I suppose that's true.
Or a something else thing. I don't know.
Well, since we don't know, Ryan, why don't you hit me with your answers to something you can say while dissecting a cat in biology class?
Heather?
And what?
I will hit you with my answer. Anyways, continue.
Something you can say while dissecting a cat in biology class and while reading your family computer's search history.
Wow, this is messy.
Good. Good one. Loving it. That's your only answer?
That's it. That's all I got.
All right.
How many did you come up with, Heather? 4?
I came up with 4. Something you can say while dissecting a cat in biology class and while reading your family computer's search history. This is way grosser than I thought it would be.
Damn, it's so obvious.
Excuse me while I puke.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know you could do that to a cat.
Fair.
And finally, somebody likes to be stiff.
Jesus Christ.
Well, because it's stiff when you get it. When we got the frogs, they were already dead and they were all stiff. That's all I meant. Hey, Mr. Frog, somebody likes to be stiff. Mm-hmm. And also internet history.
Sure.
Great. Having no complaints from the judgy judger McJudgerson, I'm going to award myself 4 points for that.
Fair enough.
Now, Ryan, That brings us to our fourth set of cards. On the blue card, something you can say while struggling to put a fitted sheet on your bed. On the red card, and during a bar fight. So, Ryan, something you can say while struggling to put a fitted sheet on your bed and during a bar fight. Hit me.
I'm gonna flatten you out.
Excellent. Love that one. That's a great one.
My parents taught me better.
Okay.
That's all I got.
All right. I'm going to give you both of those. Here's what I came up with.
4 answers.
I only got 3 on this one.
Okay.
Something you can say while struggling to put a fitted sheet on your bed and during a bar fight. Stupid fucker. Also, I will not let you get the better of me. And also, I'm going to rip you to shreds.
Fair enough.
Just if you're super frustrated with the fitted sheet, you know?
Damn you, Heather. Damn you. Damn you straight to hell.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Fifth and final set of cards for the round. Ryan, on the blue card, something you can say while brushing your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
On the red card, and when you don't have a condom, that's something you can say while brushing your teeth. And when you don't have a condom. If it makes you feel any better, I only found 2 answers for this one.
I've only got 2 myself.
All right, what you got?
Here, put this in your mouth.
Good one.
I'm just going to have to spit this out.
You know what? Those are 2 genius answers to that. Good job. Good job. Listen, so one of my answers to this, which, by the way, is something you can say while brushing your teeth and when you don't have a condom. This could get slippery. Okay. And here's the one I mentioned earlier that I thought you might have some problems with.
Oh, really?
But it's witty as fuck. And I'm awarding myself a point whether you like it or not. Something you can say while brushing your teeth and when you don't have a condom. Oral it be.
Why would I have a problem with it? That's genius.
Thank you. I was more proud of that answer than any of my other answers on this round.
Well done, Heather. Look at you winning the new game.
I know. I feel so full of myself. It's incredible.
You know what? And I'm still proud of you, Heather. Well done.
Thank you.
You know what other game you could kick my ass at?
What's that?
Is the stupid deaths game.
Possibly. I had considered bringing that back for a full 10 rounds, but then I found this game and decided for this. But maybe we'll do stupid deaths next.
How about you find a game I can win at next?
You've won, how many? 3 already.
Mm-hmm.
So, no. All right. So, getting back to business here, Ryan, for this round, you have scored 11 points, and I have scored
20 points.
18 points.
Oh.
Which means that I now have a running total of 18 plus 13 points.
Excellent.
31. That's what that equals.
You should be 8 points ahead of me now.
And you have a running total of 21 points. I'm 10 points ahead of you. Because you scored 10 in the last round and 11 in this round.
I thought you were one ahead of me last time.
I was 3 ahead of you.
Oh, okay. All right.
It was 13-10. So the ass whooping continues.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so let's move on. I'm so full of myself. I'm so incredibly proud of myself. Just going to keep on being unmodest about it.
I'm going to bring the heat next week.
I want to see you do it.
It's probably not going to happen.
Take me down a peg. You know, I think words, like this kind of thing is my strong suit. Mm-hmm. Words, like coming up with names for things and such. So, yay me.
Oral it be. Fucking A, Heather.
Be.
That was fucking genius.
Thank you. Thank you, Ryan. So, in our first set of cards, we had something you can say as a bouncer was on that first card. So I thought, hey, let's get some bouncer stories from Reddit. Fun fact, I asked people for their best bouncer stories, and I got 3 responses
Nice.
that were all stupid, dumb jokes that I'm not going to repeat here.
Oh.
Nobody gave me a good answer, jerks. All right, but somebody else posted, bouncers of Reddit, what are your craziest kicked out of the bar stories? And our first story comes from a deleted account, which says, ex-bouncer here, coked out little dude comes up to the door. I decline entry because he was way too intoxicated. He starts screaming. Dealt with it before, no big deal. I turn to wave the other doorman over, and this guy jumps on me, knocking me down. He punched me in the chest 7 times. My other doorman rips him off me. I stand up with my adrenaline pumping. My stomach feels really warm, though, and I touch it. I look at my hand, and I'm bleeding a lot. Dude slashed me 7 times in the chest.
Jesus.
Quit shortly after.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yes. As would I. I would never nobody would ever hire me as a bouncer. What am I going to do? Get out! Shut up, idiot. Make me, carry me. Nope. Because bouncers legit will just carry people out sometimes.
I feel like that being a bouncer would be a good job to like have a bulletproof vest on for.
Sure.
I mean, the odds of you getting shot are probably pretty slim, but I feel like someone pulling a knife on you is a lot higher chance of that happening.
Sure.
And if he had a vest on,
that would have helped with a knife?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, he quit, so he doesn't have to worry about it anymore, hopefully. All right, next answer also from a deleted account. Oh, no. Oh, actually, this was from the same account in the thread. But he says, on a lighter note, I was at the door once and these drunk girls came up. They were having a good time. I had no issues. I asked to do a quick bag check. One of the girls opens her bag, and I see a hamster just chilling. I tell her she cannot bring her hamster into the club. She gives me a storyline about how her hamster has anxiety when it's alone, and I tell her to take it home, and I'll let her skip the line when she gets back because she is not bringing it in. She leaves, comes back with a picture of the hamster in the cage, going on about how sad he looked. I want to be a fly on the wall for that whole thing.
Did he still check her bag afterwards?
I don't know. He doesn't say. Probably not. Oh, maybe he did. Maybe she's just pretending that she left the hamster at home.
She was trying to pull one over on him.
All right. Another deleted account. Reminds me of a video I got shown during my security course. It's in Russia, and everyone involved looks like they're Russian on a somewhat chilly day.
Everybody's Russian.
Guy walks up to 2 bouncers at the door and says something to one. The others not paying attention to him. Bouncer who he's talking to looks at the other bouncer. In the 2 seconds his head is turned, Guy casually as anything pulls out a handgun, shoots them both in the chest, opens a door right around the corner from them, a couple of feet away, and tosses the gun, legs it before anyone's even come to the door yet. So that one's dark.
I want to change my answer. Apparently, getting shot, there's a high probability of that. Good time to have bulletproof vests.
But the lesson there for bouncers is don't look at the other bouncer. Keep looking at the person that's the potential troublemaker, because they could do freaking anything to you. And the other guy, too, that got stabbed, it was because he talked to the other bouncer, right? Mm-hmm. Wasn't it? Oh, I turned to wave the other doorman over. Yeah, so he also turned away from the guy.
Yeah. To
get the other doorman, and so he pounced. So, bouncers, if you're listening, you probably already know this. Let's continue. From Fudley. When I was a DJ at the bar back in the day, some drunken asshole started being a dick to the waitress, smacking her ass, making her grab for her tits, etc. The bouncer grabbed him by the back of his hair and knocked over every table with the guy's face as he dragged him toward the door. Then he used his face to hit the panic bar on the door and threw him out into the street. It was a little much, but I think that bouncer had a crush on that one waitress.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems so. It's like, let me just shove your face into every possible object on the way out the door. From Hailzing, we had a woman come in and eat a napkin in front of our hostess and then leave. It was a weird-ass night for all of us. Just thought that was interesting. Just walks in, eye contact with the bartender, shoves a napkin down, eats it, walks out.
I have a question. It's kind of unrelated, but talk about weird nights.
Yes.
So apparently 911 gets like crazy calls whenever there's a full moon. Like
I've heard that, yeah.
Right? So it's
I've also heard that emergency rooms fill up like extra and weirdly on full moon nights.
I want to know, does it happen when it's a full moon, but it's cloudy and you can't see the moon?
That is a great question for the internet. We should look that up at some other point in time.
We should.
All right. And our final story from J.W. Griffiths. One night, I'm checking IDs at the door while our head bouncer was standing there looking intimidating. So as I'm checking people's IDs as they come in, a small guy comes walking up from the parking lot.
It's always the small guys.
Yeah, isn't it? He had been 86th the night before for being obnoxious. I think that just means kicked out, right? 86th, is that what? Okay.
Yeah.
He had been 86th the night before for being obnoxious to several women, so he was permanently banned from the bar. Randy, the head bouncer, sees this guy coming and just starts shaking his head no. The guy walks right up to Randy and pulls out a small semi-auto pistol and sticks it right in Randy's face and says, "I'm going to kill you." Randy looks at the guy, looks at the gun, looks back at the guy, and then leans down and very softly says, "No, motherfucker, I'm going to kill you." The dude with the gun stares up at Randy, looks at the gun in his own hand, and then takes off running back into the parking lot as fast as he can. Later on that night, after the bar closed, we were cleaning up and having a few drinks. So I asked Randy what the hell was he thinking when he said that. Randy responded, "Little gun. I would have had time to break his neck before I bled out." Good old Randy.
Well
I completely
done.
pictured Dave Bautista in my head through that whole story.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I worked with a guy long time ago that used to be a bouncer, and I don't remember a single one of his stories, but all I do remember is that he got in a lot of fights, and in every single fight, his shirt came off.
Of course it did. Did he take it off while fighting?
Yes. I ripped my shirt off.
Why? He's like, how many times can I expose my ripped abs to the people all around me? Because I've noticed that guys with ripped abs do like to show that off.
Yes.
As much as possible. Now, look, Ryan, before we end off completely, I have a non-Reddit kind of rant.
Okay.
So I was listening to a podcast earlier today, and the subject of the episode was tectonic plates and how they shift and how that makes land masses shift as well. And as part of the episode, he mentioned somebody, the host of the podcast, mentioned somebody whose name I can't remember now. It was like, this person back in 18-something who was this kind of scientist looked at a map and noticed that it looked like South America fit right into Africa at one point. And he wasn't the first person to notice this and this And then he names like 5 or 6 prominent people that all noticed this, right? And I'm listening to this. I'm like, you know who else noticed that, Gary? Me, when I was 10.
Really?
And I don't know if I should feel smart or if I should feel really bad about how not smart scientists are.
Well, I mean,
because
kids notice some interesting stuff. Listen, I think kids are a lot smarter than people give them credit for.
I have to say, both my kids actually constantly amaze me on this.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God, my 8-year-old, I was watching some video with her, and somebody came and said something like, oh my God, it's so cold, I'm going to die. And Holly goes, that's hyperbole. It's like, I was freaking floored. I was like, Google, what's hyperbole? It was hyperbole. She was right. Turns out she had learned at school that day what hyperbole was, but still I was impressed. Impressed that she retained all that information.
And here I thought it was pronounced hyperbole.
Hey, we both learned something from my daughter. All right.
Hyperbole.
Folks, thank you so much for listening. You will be darned. Thank you so much for listening.
I was going to say,
we're not leaving yet.
Sorry. Sophie, one time, just one story that sticks out in my mind.
Sure.
When she was about 5, she hadn't started going to kindergarten yet, and she didn't go to preschool. So she couldn't read yet. She knew her alphabet, but there was a walk we used to take, and we always walked past this apartment complex called the Doral.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'd walk past it, and one day she goes, why does that apartment complex say Dora on it? And I was like, what? And then I had to look over at it, and I was like, oh, yeah. Dora's in the name.
Was she a Dora the Explorer fan?
Yes.
Okay, that explains it. Kids, they really are. They can be so smart.
Mm-hmm.
Well, folks, thank you so much for listening once again to the Politics Free podcast. We would love it if you would send us your stories and game recommendations. You can email me at thepoliticsfreepodcast@outlook.com. And as always, spread the word. Pick one person you think would appreciate this podcast this week and go ahead and tell them about it. We would love you for it. And other than that, have a happy, wonderful, fantastic, incredible week.
Until we play again.